I am making this video several hours after the Phantom experience, the Masquerade experience, to go more in detail with the things that happened in the show so that I can try to remember it. There will probably be spoilers in here. If you don't want to know anything about it, then don't watch it. You get an email with a password, a secret word, and after they check your ID and stuff outside before you go in, you have to say the password, and then they open the door and let you in. You go to the bag check, and you're just waiting in a hallway. It's a 6-story building, I believe, that has been, it doesn't look like they renovated anything, but they built things into it. But there are escalators in the building. I don't think they put in escalators for this. But anyway, waiting in this sort of industrial-like hallway. You see pipes, on the ceiling, and it's stone walls. Weird music is playing. It's not Phantom of the Opera music. It was more like, almost like I joked to somebody that it's like, was this from Andrew Lloyd Webber's children's music? When he was a child, he was writing this music. It was like a little cartoony, I don't know. Anyway, it wasn't Phantom related. When our time came, they opened a door and we went up a set of stairs and into a little room, and that's where the violin player was. It was a small room that had the tutus on the ceiling or hanging from the ceiling as sort of lights, and again, there was pre-recorded music playing, and the violinist was playing along to it. He was up on a little stand, little platform. Behind him were shelves or cubbies, and there were masks, theatrical type masks, headpieces, I remember, like gold things, and then a bunch of ballet shoes neatly stacked in a cubby. He played for maybe 5 minutes. It was very pretty and simple, and this is where they give everybody either a champagne or a sparkling cider, and then eventually double doors open next to where the violin player was, and he actually leads us into that room. And it's dark. There is a stage on the left when you walk in, sort of just like almost like you're backstage. There's some sheets covering stuff, and there's the monkey, a monkey discovered in the vaults of the theater, wearing Persian robes, playing the cymbals. The monkey's up on one of the boxes, up on this makeshift stage thing, and a lot of wood. And the violin player is not on the stage yet. He's over in the corner playing. It's dimly lit. There are little lights, but Madame Giry is in there, leader of the ballet, and she's talking to us quietly, saying, "We're so glad you're here." Maybe she's saying things like, "He will be pleased," or "He's been working hard," and stuff like that, just interacting and winding through the room a little bit. And then she goes up on stage, and she reads a note. She pulls out the note from under her dress, like she does, or her bodice, doesn't matter. Pulls out a note and reads it, and it was comical a little bit. It was about, she said, "My managers have informed me that this is," she's reading a note from the Phantom. So, "Dearest friends, it's come to my attention that my managers, have called this a preview." And so, I can't remember what else she said, but something was funny, and we all laughed about it, like being a preview and how they maybe don't know what they're doing. The managers don't know what they're doing. And she quoted some lines from the show. Um, like some of you may recall the strange affair of the Phantom of the Opera, a mystery never fully explained. She says that. Um, there's light music playing in the background. It's not the violin player anymore. He's gone. And this is when I clued in, and I normally cannot clue into things. I normally am just there. I take it at face value. I don't think through it when I'm watching something like this. I bet you that's going to be Christine's father. Christine Daae's father was a famous violinist in the play. And so I thought, that would be a clever thing. Turns out I was right. There's thunder. You hear thunder in the distance, and that wasn't happening in New York City at that moment, I don't think. So then she teaches us a singing phrase and a dance and some dance moves from Masquerade. Now that makes it sound cheesy, but it's not. It's perfect. She welcomes us to this thing and that we need to do it, and so she does the Masquerade. Paper faces on parade, masquerade, hide your face, and we spin. So she makes us do it, encourages us to sing along with her. So I'm full throating Masquerade, because why not? If I'm ever going to do it, I'm going to do it here in this thing and not get in trouble for it. This is the place, so that's what I do. We all did. And so we practice that, and then we get led into what I would call the main. Well, there were several main rooms where we went a couple times, but the first main room, and there's just all kinds of stuff going on. There's all kinds of masquerade. Oh, that's what it is. Oh, this is so good. I just remembered. It's like the Haunted Mansion. You're facing this way, watching her teach us, and then behind us, whoosh, these giant walls open up, and it's the big room, the first big room, and there's all kinds of masquerade costumed characters. Masquerade, the song, does not happen in Phantom at this stage, certainly at the beginning. No. But it does in this show, and I think it works perfectly. We go in and we some people grab us and lead us around. I see other people dancing, and we're being guided by hosts throughout the whole thing, the whole time, helping us know where to go and where to stand, and that it's okay to come close here or move back here, because they know what's going to happen and where you need to be careful. So then they're singing Masquerade. They're doing Masquerade. Different people have different parts. A lot of lyrics are changed in this show. Tune is the same, but lyrics are changed to fit the scope of this show. I can't tell you what those were, but there were a lot of lyric changes. And then we get to the part in Masquerade where the part that we learned, and so we're all doing it, and that's so cool. This is, again, what leads me to think about this whole experience as being something that I would do anyway. I would do this in my house. I just wouldn't have fancy costumes or lots of people around and nice lights spinning around and a stage. It would just be me doing it. So this was exciting, to sing it out loud with all these people and mouth the words with them, and it's okay. And then, the scene, the part in Masquerade where the Red Death shows up. There is no Red Death, so get over it if that's something that you're holding on to. Believe me, I love that, and it's cool and all, but it's not what happens here. We haven't seen the Phantom yet in this. We just started the show. So they're doing Masquerade, and it gets to the part where he would appear on the steps, and Madame Giry was standing at the center on the platform, and she had a mirror that was cracked, and she was holding it out over the audience around a few times, like you could look in it, but some of the actors were looking in it. And then right before the Phantom appears, it starts to smoke out of the cracks of it. She's holding it, and in time with the music, it breaks in half, and she holds it, and then lights go out. She runs off, and the Phantom is standing there on the platform. Have no idea how that happened, because this Phantom that we had at the 7 o'clock first time was extremely large. I don't mean fat, but very tall, large guy. And I was like, oh my gosh. And of course, we're all basically within 10 feet. I was like, oh my goodness. So we were all around him. So I don't think he ran up and stood there. I'm going to see it again tomorrow night, so maybe I can figure it out. But anyway, very cool. He appears. And so then the overture begins. We are quickly led into the next room, and a chandelier is on the ground, and we are led around it. I'm now starting to cry for the first time, because the overture is always, when it's played loud and you're just in it, it just goes into your bones. Hair on the back of your neck stands up. That's what Michael Crawford said when he first heard it. So, we go in and we're standing next to the chandelier. Chandelier's not on, but the overture is playing, and I'm standing there, and in time with the music, it lights up. I mean, I could touch it. It's on the floor in front of me, and it's not going to go very high. The room is maybe 12 feet high. It probably isn't. Maybe 14. But it lifts up, and then it's in, let's say, 3 sections: top, large, middle, small, bottom, and so it lifts up into itself a little bit, and it's there. It's great. It's great. It works. And then some, not curtains exactly, but wall sort of things come down, and you see Carlotta and Ubaldo Piangi on one side, and Firmin and Andre on the other side. And so then you're right into sort of the rehearsal for Hannibal, and there's ballet dancers. Some guys come out. Clearly, one of them is Joseph Bouquet, the chief of the Fly system. He comes out with the piano. They bring out the piano onto the stage under the chandelier, like they're rehearsing. There was an elephant somewhere. Does that come later? Because the elephant is in Hannibal, and I'd have to remember what room that was in. Doesn't matter. And so we hear Carlotta, and we see Piangi for the first time, and Firmin and Andre are there. They cut all the scenes of Monsieur Lefebvre, who is the one who's saying he's going to be in You Can Find Me in... Oh, how embarrassing that I can't remember. I played the part in the concert version. If you need me, I shall be in Frankfurt. Yeah. So the new managers are there, and Raoul's standing on the stairs. Now, I didn't know it was Raoul, but it's sort of the way they've trimmed this. Boom, Firmin and Andre on this are up there, and Raoul's on the stairs, and they introduce him. And right prior to that, in sort of the milieu, no, doesn't matter, in the middle of all the action that's happening when we first see Carlotta and Piangi and them, I get asked to come out. One of the dancers, the ballet dancers, pulls me and says, "Would you like to learn a dance?" I said, "Sure." And so she teaches me the plie thing and go to first position. I'm standing at the piano. My right hand is on the piano. My left hand is doing anyway. And from behind me is the lady playing, Christine. I didn't know that at the time. But I turned to see her, and she says that I did it. I was like, that was good. And then says to the girl who grabbed me, "Can you show me?" It's something like that, even though that sounds odd, because why would Christine, who is in the ballet corps, why would she ask a friend of hers to teach her to do first position? That may not be exactly what she said, but it was like, "Oh, can you help me with something?" Could be that. Anyway, I didn't know it was Christine, because I don't know who Christine is. They're not wearing exactly the costumes from the show that I know. And so, anyway, So that was fun, just to be interacting with the actors in that scene. And so then Firmin and Andre talk, they introduce Raoul, and then they say Carlotta's going to sing, so she goes to sing, and then a sandbag drops, and she gets upset, and Ubaldo and her decide to leave, amateurs, that whole thing. And then across the way, Madame Giry's on the steps, and she says, she reads a note. I don't think in the musical there's a note at this point where Giry decides that Christine is good. No, she doesn't. That doesn't happen. But in this is who will be singing in Hannibal, Christine Daae. And, Firmin or Andre is like, a chorus girl. And then Meg is like, she's got a great teacher. And they say, who? And Christine says, I don't know. And then Giry says, let her sing for you, mister. She's been well taught. And so she starts her thing, and she's, and that's when I realized, oh, that's Christine. I was just standing next to Christine, and she was talking to me. Just kind of crazy. Then, Raoul sings his part, long ago, it seems so long ago, how innocent we were. Beautiful, great, fantastic. And then they meet, and then the curtains where we came in from sort of open, and a giant mirror comes in, and of course this is now into Raoul's basically saying to Christine, hey, we're gonna go out now, and I'm gonna get my hat, and I'll see you in 2 minutes. And she's like, I can't do that, the opera ghost is very strict. Oh, I'm sure he is, it's okay. I shan't keep you out late. And so then she hears the Phantom's voice. That's the first time we see him. We saw him in Masquerade, but he did not say anything because he has no lines there. Insolent boy, the slave of fashion is the first time we hear him, and that's now. So Christina's over here, Raoul was up here, he comes down the steps, and then behind me, boom, up on those steps back here on a platform is the Phantom. And so he sings his line, insolent boy, this slave of fashion. I mean, again, this is like you get placed into the show while the show is happening around you. That's what this feels like, and so it was great. Mirror comes in, and they sing around the mirror, giant mirror. Very interesting. It spins around underneath the chandelier and moves, and Christine is there, and then the Phantom goes out, and a giant mirror is against the wall over here where we came in, and that's what opens up, and he comes in on a little staircase, reaches through the mirrors that open, and he pulls her through. Then that whole thing opens, and we all go through, following them where they went. And that's when we go down an escalator, and they're in a boat over here, down on the side of the escalator, and they're singing. But even if you're not standing down there yet, if you're waiting to get down there, you hear them singing. So you go down and up, there they are, and we don't stay there. We turn and go into a room with a lot of candelabras, and we sit down for the first time. And then they walk in singing the title song, the Phantom of the Opera song. That's that whole, obviously when Phantom grabs Christine and takes her through the mirror, that's to his lair. That's the whole thing. So that's when we took the escalator down to the lair. Works out great. I'm just putting all that together now in my brain. So now we're sitting in the lair. There's candelabras everywhere. It's very dark, but we're sitting down, and then they come in and they're singing, and she's I don't think she was singing live there, but that doesn't matter. He was, and so they do that, and then Music of the Night happens. It's all trimmed a little bit. They are not singing the whole songs, because this whole show is 2 hours, no intermission, as opposed to the normal show, which is like 3.5 hours, 3 hours with an intermission. So they sing Music of the Night. It's lovely, fine. He doesn't sing the high note softly, the soar. Start to soar. I don't want to sing too loud because it's after midnight, and I'm too exhausted. but they cut that, and he goes right to the big note. And then after that, he picks her up and carries her out. Normally we would hear, it's when she wakes up, I remember there was mist. That doesn't happen until much later. So Phantom picks her up, carries her out a door, and then Madame Giry is there, and she says something like, you're going to see things that you've never seen before. So blah, 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 follow. So this is the first time they split us up. This is where I go and talk to Andrew Lloyd Webber for the first time, because I knew he was in our group, and I had already soiled myself multiple times knowing that. But because I was walking right by him to go where they were leading us to go, he was right there, and I just said, thank you for all of this. And I kept going. So half of us went one place. I have no idea where they went. We went to a bedroom, big circular bed, a lot of pillows, a mirror on the wall. I went and stood right by a little monkey piece. And we stayed in there for a little while. Music's playing. It's like, and then Phantom walks in the door carrying Christine and lays her on the bed, gently covers her up. He comes over, he's standing inches from me because I'm by this monkey and the mirror right here. And like I'm here and there's a mirror right here, monkey right here. Oh, this is the Phantom mask that they stamp on your wrist. Right here. He comes over and takes this, there's a piece underneath sitting on the table where the monkey is, and he clips it over the monkey's face because he's, hide your face so the world will never find you. So he's not saying anything. He goes over and grabs a hat box, a circular hat box with a note on it, and sets it on the bed and leaves. Christine wakes up. She does not sing the I remember there was mist. She sings something else. I can't remember what she sings. How embarrassing. Maybe I'll remember it in just a second. She sings something from the show. She reads the note, and it is brand new lyrics. There's no notes in this scene in the show. So she reads the note. It's from the Phantom. He's talking about, my dearest Christine, you are a creature of beauty. This is going to be your home now. In the box is a veil, marriage veil. She puts it on and walks around the room sort of in a daze. Covers herself up with it and falls down on the bed. And from the back of the bed, the veil goes away. Which sort of wakes her up. I think that's right. I think I'm doing the order right. But anyway, from like behind the pillows on the bed come these gloved hands, and they caress her shoulders up here. She grabs them as well, and then she leans forward, and out he comes from the bed, from behind the bed, from like in the bed, from the headboard. Very weird, probably my least favorite part, because I don't get it. And pretty sure he picks her up, and they leave again, and we follow them out. This should be like first of all, the note that says that this is your home, like get used to this being your home. That's new. That whole concept is new. Obviously we know that's what the Phantom wants, is for her to stay there. But in the show, it's she rips the mask off of his face soon after Music of the Night, because he's writing his music. We do get to that place. We're just not there yet. This is the first time, like I said, that they split us up. So there are double scenes happening, so I don't know how that. Tomorrow when I go, I hope I will purposely stand in a different place so that I can get taken to the other spot. I don't remember where we go after this. How embarrassing. Because it should be, you know, come one must return, those two fools who are in my theater will be missing you. But she hasn't pulled off the mask yet, so that could be the next place that we go. There's, no. Okay, we go out and there's these curtains, and behind the curtains, they're like drapes, not curtains exactly, but they're drapes, and it's sort of flowy, and behind them you can see candles. And I thought that's just to block our view from some storage areas. So we go in a little bitty room. Again, we're still split in half, so there's a group of people somewhere else, we're here, and Madame Giry, oh, this is so cool. There's like a little old-timey puppet theater, like a little box, and from the back, there's a note that Madame Giry reads that Christine will be playing the largest role, and Carlotta will be playing the page boy, a silent role, which makes my casting in a word ideal. You hear the Phantom singing over the thing like he does on the note, and so there are these little dolls, and Madame Giry takes them off of, they're on little hooks, and she takes them and puts them on stage, and she sort of dances them around, and then she drops the page boy when it's makes my casting in a word ideal, and we get a little chuckle out of that. It's like she's in the trance probably and then he finishes that note, and we're there for a little bit, and then we exit that, and we're back in that thing where the drapes are and the candles are behind, and that all opens up, and that is more of his lair. That is where the organ is, and he's behind the organ and plays that. He's writing Don Juan, and he's got his kimono kind of outfit on. The other group of people that we split from after Music of the Night, they come. We're looking at the organ in that scene. They walk on stage. I call it the stage. They're behind the organ standing, and Christine is over here. And so that's when she does I remember there was mist, and then goes over to him, and that's when she rips off the mask and the damn you, curse you, that whole thing. She gives the mask back to him, and they rush out, and then we follow. And then where do we go? That's enough for now.